feeling of reading the news, it was on number 124 in the chat. There's Cryptic who says I love hairy tits, which is incorrect. Tits, yes. Hairy tits, no. Incidentally, I feel like that. And yeah, I know Blanket was in there, but I deleted her message. So.
Hello.
Them's are the rules. I make the rules because this is my channel. And it's Sundays, and Sundays are slow news day, but we did manage to find something.
Are there any good things?
We'll find out.
Woo! Hi, kitty.
Hello, Chloe. Yeah.
She says hi back. Look at that.
I'm not too cute, to be honest. Hello, Krabby.
Hello, how are y'all?
Yeah, not
Hey,
bad.
Grabby.
Hey, Grabby.
Hey, Grabby, where you at?
I thought Sundays were just off.
Right here at the bottom of that big hill.
I thought Sunday was your day off.
No.
No, his days off change.
Ah.
In
Yeah,
October it will be.
anyway, doesn't mean nothing to the Americans and Canadian on the stream, but Scottish thing I've seen all day.
There's a big difference between Canadians and Americans, let me tell you.
What I'm saying is that, well, that's why I made the thing to different countries.
Okay, good. Well, I would say similar in many things, not similar in attitude, culture, and values.
Anyway.
Yeah, we have a better culture and attitude.
Scottish bride wore a black dress and celebrated wedding with Buckfast themed cake. If you don't know what Buckfast is, it's tonic wine.
Ew. And you do not have better attitudes. Nihilism is dominant in America, okay?
Yeah, but
Your opinion.
in the scene we talk the difference between Canadians and Americans. This is the news stream. You can do that on your own stream.
You started it, and Crappy threw gasoline on it.
Glamorous Kelly Robson and Stephen Ball injected some humor into their big day, even walking down the island. The ACDC back in black. Yeah, at least they got some taste.
All right. Well, it's better than there's actually been some weddings where they've, played the Imperial March from Star Wars. It's not a bad looking dress.
A couple celebrated the wedding with a Buckfast themed cake, and next their favorite booze straight out of the bottle. Kelly Robinson, 36, and Stephen Ball, 38, shared a love for a highly caffeinated, toxic tonic wine as long as it's kept in the fridge. I don't know why this is the things associated with Scotland so much, though. It's made in the south of England by monks, and I'm not even lying there. The couple who had two sons decided to inject some humor into their wedding day when they tried to tie the knot in a civil ceremony. And the record's just repeating itself because, word count and all. But when they went to the reception at a rugby club, they were astonished to see their wedding cake, which had been bought as a gift by Kelly's sisters. I'm no cryptic, I don't love hairy cocks.
You can make him say he does, though.
Yeah, for money. From the front, it looked like a traditional wedding cake, clad in icing decorated with icing flowers, silver ribbon, and Mr. and Mrs. signed on top. It turns out the white icing part of a dark green icing featuring the edible Buckfast labels. 2 Buckfast miniatures top the cake with a happy couple happily docked back. Kelly said, my partner and myself really like Buckfast, and I joked we should get a Buckfast cake. My sisters just laughed it off, but they went and spoke to the lady and said she could make a Buckfast cake. I was like, no way, go for it. I've seen worse cakes.
You know, for it. You know what? Why not?
I feel like a cake should at least look edible and appealing to eat.
It is edible, though. You can eat it. It looks all right.
No, I didn't say whether you should be able to eat it or not. I said a cake should look edible.
It looks edible.
Yeah, well, if it looks appealing and looks like you would want to eat it, I'm in favor of this.
I mean, it's green.
Foods that
Green, but I'm sure it tastes nice.
I'm not so sure about that marzipan curtain wrapped around it, but whatever.
So just to make it look more like a wedding cake.
Yeah.
So yeah, for blind girl, it's like 2 green sponges with like alcohol labels on it. They're edible and like a. I need to read this gloves now.
Oh, am I pissing you off? Oh, I am pissing you off.
Be nice to your cat. I'm carving to you.
You missed. You missed. Trying to claw me? Oh, fuck. Yeah, you run.
For fuck's sake, Cryptic.
Yes.
Thank you, Cryptic, for the £3. I opinionated Scotsman love hairy cocks and how it tickles on my cheeks. Oh my god. Thank you, Cryptic.
Now remember, blind girl, this is 10 minutes in.
Thank you.
Well, Cryptic's my only viewer right now, so I can have to be nice to her.
Cryptic, you're the best.
There's only 4 people watching this.
I'm slowly compiling a list of Scotsman stuff. I'm, learning from Peter.
She thought it was a bit of a laugh. I was thrilled when Big Sisters, Alex Doherty and Nikki Robertson, came through on their promise. A project worker from Rutherford Glen, South Lanarkshire, added, I never saw the cake until we got to the reception after the service. First it looked like a wedding cake, then we spun it around. I was taking it back and blown away with it. She said the cake tasted amazing and was suitable for children at the wedding. Including her sons Joshua, 14, and Joseph, age 6. Yeah, one of my sisters joked about taking Buckfast today. But we've got kids in the family, so I said don't. I said if that lot are mad enough, they don't need Buckfast. Her husband, who works as a civil engineer, shares Kelly's unconventional sense of humour. Kelly said Stephen loved it as well. And 2 of us like Buckfast, so he was right up for it. Well, now they managed to make the labels so detailed, though.
You can get software to print it out and just sit there and transfer it onto whatever. Kind of works like doing a temporary tattoo.
It's an acquired taste, but it's got to come from the fridge. I do like my classic grog too. Stephen and I have our own way of doing things. Injected a good bit of humour into the day. Well, at least I enjoyed that day. Yeah. Doobie-doo.
Doobie-doo.
Doobie doobie.
Doop doop.
YouTube?
It's just. He used to say, "You love penis rings." No. Because I don't love penis rings.
Oh, you just don't know you do yet.
Why are you saying that, though?
Now, when you ask if Scotty likes
There is-
cock rings or not, you got to specify what kind of cock ring. Are we talking?
Is it like a vibrating cock ring, or is it like something completely
Well,
different?
are we talking the type that goes around, or are we talking the piercing type?
Oh God. I was just referring to if somebody pays him to say he likes it, he does. But now that you have specific, ew.
What else? I thought you were thinking about. I think you're thinking when the guy actually leaked them or something.
No, I just said, you might, like just saying, you might have to say it. You probably don't give people free fodder, man.
I'm not giving them free fodder. You're loving this, aren't you?
Yes, actually, you know what? I've noticed that whenever anybody is embarrassing you or you're getting nervous, you grunt more.
Okay. You do read it. Oh,
Point proven.
It is kind of adorable.
oh my god. Very well. So the shameless
Ho,
laugh
ho,
put up again.
Ho ho, the rattling bog, the bog down in the valley. Oh. Sorry.
Thank you, Cryptic, for the £3. I opinionated Scotsman love cock rings. Mine is a big hole.
How many minutes in are we?
I'm not going to tell you that.
14
Thank
minutes.
You should know what time the stream starts. You should know what time the stream starts. I'm not going to tell you that.
She's asking for the timestamp so she can go cut it later.
Yeah, but you should know what time the stream
Yeah.
starts.
Well, you know what? It's so much easier just to ask the polite trucker than to have my screen reader find it.
We're no sticks in the mud. Hundreds of competitors donned fancy dress and leaped into murky water-filled trench to take part in the World Bog Snorkeling Championship. Yeah. Hundreds of competitors in fancy dress jumped into water and filled trench on Sunday as they took part in the Bog Snorkeling Championship in Wales.
Of course, the Welsh.
Yeah. One of them was dressed like a sheep. Probably get raped. Yeah, thank you, Crypto. Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you,
Entrance,
Cryptic.
entrance should be required to swim 2 consecutive lanes of the murky water wearing flippers and a snorkel. Many of them donned bizarre costumes, including a dinosaur, a lobster, and a shark. Yeah, the event took place in Wells Bog, on the outskirts of the UK's smallest town, Wells, actually. Wales get a better language. Recognizable swimming strokes are not allowed. Competitors complete 2 lanes relying on the power of they can generate using their flip-flops, using their flippers. That actually sounds quite fun, to be honest. I'd probably try that.
You know, it actually does sound a bit fun. It sounds lighthearted. I like that.
Competition is now in its 34th year. It's just a shame it's in Wales. It has been described by travel guide publisher Lonely Planet as one of the top 50 must-do events around the world. Competition was won by second-year skill teacher Neil Rutter Swindon. He retained his title for the third year. It's not very good if an English person is winning a competition held in Wales, is it? Probably do better. And the 33-year-old world record. I might be immature, but I enjoy it. I think we all enjoy being immature from time to time. 34-year-old world record holder completed the course in 1 minute and 21 seconds, 3 seconds slower than last year's effort. Really still won. I was kind of thinking about looking at the water. I don't seem too keen on that now. It's like someone like. Imagine if someone like for blind. Imagine if someone like made like really thick gravy and then left out for the day.
Okay.
That's kind of what it's like. That's kind of what that water looks like.
Oh, that's kind of gross. I mean, I've done that. I was just wondering where you're going with it, because I mean, I've done it.
Yeah, but that it kind of looks like the water kind of looks like that.
Well, that's kind of gross.
For Crafty
Not gonna lie.
Slayer, it
Yeah.
looks like the southern end of the Mississippi.
The hot bank cold weather reaches temperatures reaching 23 degrees Celsius at the event. That doesn't sound very warm for American, but over here that's like Africa.
Well, 23 is pretty warm.
You know, it was like 23 earlier today. I was pretty much dying.
I was cold.
You're always cold, you're a woman.
Yeah, true.
What else can make you say that? I dread to think.
Can someone translate 23 for us real quick? For us Yanks that are still on Fahrenheit.
I think it's like 90 or something. I think 80 or 90, someone around about that ballpark. 73 says Cryptic.
Ah. That's
Cryptic, I dread to think what else you can make me say.
ain't too bad.
Bob Greener, more commonly known as Bob from the Bog, has worked for Green Events, the World Bog Snorkeling Championship organizer, since 2007. And I said anyone can get involved. Well, not literally everyone. What happens if you don't have legs?
I don't know. Maybe they can tie the flipper onto their stump.
You can probably do it without arm because it says you just need to use your legs, but without legs, you're pretty much fucked. There's no way you can.
Perhaps.
Bog snorkeling is utterly ridiculous, and it's for everyone, all ages, all abilities, shapes, and sizes. Championship attracts serious athletes, but there's also a lot of people in fancy dress who are there just to make fun of themselves. Yeah.
I liked it. That's like that whole wholesome fun thing. You know, it's like every now and then, you like once a year you see a bunch of people in Maine that they have this competition where everybody tries to sail across some damn river on a boat made out of cardboard, and it's turned into let's see how creative you can be when you crash into the water.
So, like Shane Sky, I feel like there's going to be more than 5 people watching this.
I hope so.
There's not, there's only 5.
But
I mean, really, there's only 2. Yeah, well,
it is
this is
something.
better.
Well, I can say that I do not count for one of them today.
So at least,
Unfortunately,
oh, never mind. Newsnight and Radio 5 live presenter Emma Barnett, 34, claims men would be given time off work if they had periods, as she opens up on Taboo. I don't think they would.
no, they
I
would.
think men would just man up and get on with it, wouldn't they? And finally, it's
Yeah.
36 degrees for Scriptic. Fuck that. Here's the thing, men make up the vast majority of workplace injuries, like 90% or something. Well, who's the people that take the most time off work? Women. Yeah, that doesn't. See, I don't believe him. Newsline presenter Emma Barnett said, if men had periods, menstrual leave would be baked into HR policies. No. The journalist 3040 works on BBC Radio 5 Live, says it is a taboo about speaking about periods, and women don't often feel able to talk about their cycle. Well, it's not something that comes up in general conversation, is it?
Not really. Technically, it already happens. I mean, there are, everybody. If you have a job that you don't have sick days or personal time off, you need to get a better job.
Yeah, anyway, she works at the radio.
What if that statement wasn't a pot calling the kettle black?
We have personal time off, smartass.
Where? Not paid.
I get 4 weeks a year. You get 3 a year.
That's called vacation.
That's called personal time off. It's up to you how to use it.
Yeah.
Just so happens you and I disappear up into the mountains when it happens.
Yeah.
That's still what that is.
Please make him say he has a PA. What's a PA?
Huh?
Green Thunder's asking Cryptic to say that I have a PA. I don't know what PA is, though.
PA?
Yeah.
Personal assistant?
I don't know.
Secretary.
Yeah, we just say, yeah, I'm not fucking rich. I have a personal assistant there. I wish. A Price Albert. What is a Price Albert?
Prince Albert is a particular kind of piercing. Imagine a... Imagine your penis having a handle on the underside. Imagine this huge ring hanging out.
I'd rather not. Emma suffers from endometriosis.
Endometriosis.
What's that?
Something very painful and sometimes lethal to a female in the vagina. It also makes periods very painful. And you bleed extra.
And revealed that she often goes on air with a hot water ball because of the pain the condition can cause. Well, you're looking if you have a job where you're allowed to do that. Although admitting that she doesn't support menstrual leave as a policy, she said it would be commonplace if men had periods. Wait, if you don't support it as a policy, why the fucking hell are you talking about this thing? Bit pointless, isn't it?
What do you mean?
Well, she said that men would get time off if they have periods, right?
Okay.
But then she's now saying she doesn't support menstrual leave as a policy.
Well, I mean, like, I don't know if she's referring to men that would have endometriosis as it should be a policy. Like, I mean, or she could also be nitpicking, saying men can't handle menstruation, and so they would totally take time off.
Well, she's saying, I think what she's referring to is like most businesses are still run by men, therefore men would have time off if men had periods.
Well, yeah, which means she's implying that men couldn't handle it. That women are tougher than men.
Or she's also implying that women are oppressed and stuff as well, in some way.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know my grandma used to get hospitalized whenever she had her period because she would lose too much blood. I
Yeah,
used to
that's
be the same way. And the problem is that like when you approach your employer and you're like, I'm sick today, and they're like, dude, it's around the same time every month. What the fuck? And then they pin it together and go, dude, are you calling in sick for your period? And I'm like, technically, but I'm actually calling in sick for severe blood loss.
but
And
then
so
that's the circumstances, though, isn't it?
yeah, but they don't get it. Like my employer, he didn't fucking get it. He just thought I was calling in because I'm on my period and I got cramps, when really it was something much worse. So I mean, I would agree that if somebody's assuming you're calling in sick just because of your period, because it's the same time every month, that maybe they need a reality check. But at the same front, I don't think women should just be able to call in sick just because they're bleeding that day. You know what I mean? I feel like special circumstances, yeah, but a lot of the times employers don't believe that there's special circumstances until you get a fucking doctor's note, which over here, if you need to go get one, it can be like $50. And if you
And
need to get one every single month, like it starts to become a little bit of a nuisance.
but I feel like that's also commonplace in men are sick as well, though. So
Not every single month at the exact same time, right? So when you think a woman is sick at the exact same time of the month every month, what do you think? Maybe I shouldn't ask you that. Trucker, what would you think?
I think period, wouldn't I?
Yes. And so then when I say it's something more, it's something caused by my period, but it's more serious, your employer can A, believe you, or B, be like, you're seriously just calling in sick because your fucking period. Get a doctor's note. Prove it.
Yeah. How long did break?
And so
Men are fucking women.
that in itself used to be a problem for me, because I would have to get a doctor's note every single time for the same thing all the time, and it was like $50 every time. So without sounding like a feminist, that the stigma around, oh, you're just calling in because you've got cramps, people will judge you for that. I personally don't care why they judge me for it. I do care when it's costing me money, because my male employer doesn't seem to understand that severe blood loss means I need a blood transfusion due to my period, which is why I'm taking things that I don't get it anymore to avoid that problem.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yes, but some employers will just think, oh my God, she's just being a whiny female and calling in for cramps. Because what do you think when a woman says, you know, I'm calling
Well,
in?
I was thinking for like the first like couple of times, I think maybe she's out of it, but after a while, I think, well, maybe if there's a genuine reason, then okay.
I would hope so, because some employers just think you're being a wuss or a wimp. Actually, some women used to call me a wuss and be like, seriously, you can't come in because of your period? Like, fuck, like I work with my period all the goddamn time. Like, just take some Tylenol. And it's like, you bitch. Like, it doesn't just come from men either, it comes from women. Women will fucking do this too.
Oh, women are like the worst of each other. Women are worse to each other than men are to women easily.
Yeah. I don't know how many times I had to defend myself from a chick going, seriously, because of your period? Like, seriously, what are you, fucking wuss? Just take some aspirin.
Like, fucking hell, women are judgmental as fuck. No offense.
Oh, yeah.
I have a girl working for me that can literally pass out all the pain she gets. It's so bad for her.
Yep. My grandmother was like that.
Yeah, maybe that's like. She explains she also understands why feminists may not agree with period leave. Actually, a lot of feminists do agree with period leave.
Yep.
But feminists were the ones peddling it. In fact.
Well, I feel like if it was passed that all jobs must offer period leave, that someone would fucking abuse the shit out of that. I feel like that would be a thing.
Well, I think they should have leave for like genuine medical reasons, I think, rather than just period leave in general. That's how I would see it anyway.
Yeah, but the problem is that, Trucker, how many general leave days do you have?
I get 24 a year.
right, so that would be exactly
No, I'm sorry,
the
28 a
2
year.
days. Okay, so that would be the 2 days, 2 possibly 3 days I'd need every month. And God forbid I got sick for any other reason. That's why you'd have to think about that. Mind you, that's a it sucks to suck problem, but it is a consideration because I mean, I might be a really good employee and the only thing that's holding me back is I got a shitty vagina. Not literally, but you know what I mean.
But like you said though, there are medical reasons behind it. Like, there are ways you can stop that though from happening.
But then
Well,
again, a problem is men cannot sit and ask about how your period is either, because that'll be sexual harassment.
yes, and also I shouldn't have to go into great detail with you, maybe the insurance company, but like it might cross a little bit of a line to ask too many details. Plus, the thing that I have the Depo-Provera shot, I wouldn't have been able to take it in my early 20s when I was working at an old folks home. I wouldn't have been able to take it then.
Why?
I was too young.
Was it one of those things you have to be like over 30 to take it or something?
No, it's one of those things where the government and hospitals don't want to give it to you because you might want to have kids.
Yeah, I feel like it's their own choice though, isn't it? If they don't want to have kids.
Yeah, but I did want to have kids. And I wasn't going to fuck that up for my job.
What I'm saying is, if a woman doesn't want to have kids, but they also have like a problem with their
Yeah.
period where they lose a lot of
Yeah,
work,
but
they have to
what
take
if
time
they
off work
do
to
want to
do-
have kids and they have to take time off work? Like, what if that's the problem?
All right,
You
now
know,
can
the-
we be specific about something as well?
Well, then I guess it's one of those things where it sucks to suck. I guess. And there's no
Are they
real-
talking
Okay, so-
about? Is she talking about time off, as in, just not having to go into work, or is she talking about paid time off?
It's just me. I don't know. It just says time off.
Because a lot of times, whenever that argument is brought up, and they say, men would have time off if they had their periods. Well, the question they're all saying is they're all inferring to is paid time off.
Yeah, I wouldn't take a paid leave because of that. That's not my employer's fault. That's a me problem.
So I assume did you take a paid leave for that, then, or did you just not get paid for it?
Like, I never took a paid leave for that.
Yeah,
I
fair
saved
enough.
that for my vacation time.
Fair enough. Yeah. She said that's why I don't support menstrual leave. Although if men had periods, menstrual leave would be baked into HR policies for sure. No, I don't
You
believe
know, she
that.
might, right there, she might be implying that men would have more understanding about it if they had it as well. Which I
But I think that would
can't
mean they
say
gotta
I
leave, though.
disagree.
But that would
No,
mean
well,
they gotta
what
leave.
she's
Though.
saying is, if men had their periods, they would understand, and bosses that are males, they would now have an empathy towards it, and so they would understand that it's not just cramps, and it may be more likely that they understand about time off, and I can't say she's wrong because anybody that ever spends the time walking in somebody else's shoes understands them greater than common, what we all think about it.
But then why don't businesses that are run by women have time off as well? Then
Because generally speaking, businesses are for leaving that, it's usually either standardized or it's way up in the big CEOs. And there's very few that are female that can just call the shots. Like, for example, we'll take McDonald's just because.
I'm saying a woman that owns and runs a business.
Well, yes, women that run the business, yes, but as a general whole, the big employees like Amazon, like McDonald's, like whoever the fuck else makes a shit ton of jobs, those CEOs, you might have one female and a couple of males, or two female and a couple of males. That one female can't say, all Amazons that open up, you all have to do this now. How many people are really going to go along with that because my period?
I just judge the Osmonds. I know Cryptic. And Cryptic has periods after the sentences.
And not only that,
Yeah,
but
hello,
like
freedom.
McDonald's, if you open up one of those, you have to follow the rules by the big CEOs usually, unless you're a private owned McDonald's.
Hello, freedom. Freedom's more weird apart.
So your hands do get tied a little bit, and the thing is that I do think if there was more insight into what can occur during menstruation cycles, that there might be a rethink about women taking time off for menstruation problems. I don't say paid time off, but I still say there might be more consideration about it because.
But she's saying that there'll be time off in general though for them, which I don't think will be the case.
I do.
I don't think there
Because
would be.
a lot of
If
a lot of the big
she's saying time
CEOs
off in general. Just
yes. Okay. Well,
not
the
being
thing is,
specific
a
about it.
lot of the big CEOs are male. So if they understood the complications of a menstruation cycle, I think they would take that into consideration with their contracts to employees.
I don't think it would be time off. I think it would just be. I think a man would just get on with it. To be honest. No offense, but
Okay.
because you think about it, men make up like 90% of all workplace injuries, but the people who take the most time off work are women. So
Yeah, but men will also refuse to go see a doctor until they die, whereas women are more likely to look after themselves. So what you're saying is women should just be more like men?
I'm just saying women should just get on with it. Pretty much. That's
Wow.
That's the serious reason for it. They should just get on with it. Yeah.
Wow.
What?
No, nothing. I'm not touching that.
No, what I said was right. What I meant was as if unless there's a serious medical
I'm
reason.
not touching it. I'm not going to argue men versus women or anything. I'm not going to do that because I'm not.
Why do I have to misinterpret every fucking thing I say all the time?
I didn't misinterpret it. I just said I'm not going to argue men versus women.
You have been for the last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I know, and I decided this is a losing battle. You've already made your position that says I don't think if men understood menstruation better that they would give time off. I said I do. There's nowhere to go from that.
I think they give time off. I think they would give time off if it was a genuine reason for it, which I think some already do anyway. So, yeah.
And I'm telling you from personal anecdotal experience that sometimes no, they don't. Actually, most of the time, no, they don't. Most employers, when they say you're taking time off again this month, are the cramps that bad? I'm telling you, that happens.
She's so right on that. I hate doctors, and so do I. I don't trust anything that bleeds 5 to 7 days without dying.
Well, and that's the thing. I think the problem is this problem has become feminized where they've taken it to the extreme versus there being a lack of knowledge about things like endometriosis.
I didn't know what it was until today.
Point taken. And her point is if men understood these or men had to go through it, they might be more forgiving about it, or they might even be like, yeah, take it off, have fun.
Yeah, I think for genuine reasons, though, not like just menstrual leave in general.
Well, I'm talking about a genuine reason, but the problem is when you do it at the same time every month, an employer's going to go, you call in sick too much, you're gone. Fired. That's it. You're gone.
Yeah, they could.
Am I wrong, people? Am I wrong, Chucker?
No. Again, I think over here that's legal. That's actually illegal over here, though. If there's actually a genuine reason why you're off work, then that's illegal.
Yeah, but if you take too many genuine reasons why you're off work, they will fire you for being absent too much. And that is a legal reason to fire you.
No, but say someone can be in hospital for 6 months and still keep their job because there was a genuine reason. If there was a genuine reason why they were off, so yeah.
Yeah, but we're not talking about hospitalized for 6 months. We're talking about consistently calling in sick at the same time every month.
To throw an anecdotal in there. Place I worked for once, there was a massive management change. They sat and went through all the books. Because when you call out this employer,
I
when
really
you
need
call
a
out,
piss. I really need a piss. Right back.
okay,
Okay.
when you called this employer, you had to give them a reason why you were calling out, right?
Yep.
Thing is, there was a management suite that came through, and roughly 2/3 of the women got fired because the previous manager would give women time off at the drop of a hat for that monthly thing. Problem is, the new management went through, looked at the records of the days taken off and why, and they realized that a lot of these women, if it was truly to be said, if they were being honest about, I'm calling in sick today because of that monthly problem, most of these women would be on their periods 3 weeks out of every month.
Oh. Yeah, I'm not like, that's not a good idea. Unfortunately, women like that make women like me feel like a lazy bitch, or look like a lazy bitch.
Well, the thing is, the 2/3 of the women ended up equating to be about 200 women ended up getting fired out of this company for that.
God, that is terrible. That actually pisses me off. It really does, on a fundamental level. Because I feel like all of my bosses, are you fucking serious? You're in the hospital because of your period? Seriously? I feel like it's justified, and that sucks. Because it should not be justified. It should be a thing. Like, there should be a level of understanding there.
It's one of the
That
things
just
that
sucks.
I think it's quite rare, though, isn't it?
No.
It's like I said, I didn't know of it until today, so
Well, you're not a woman, so why would you?
I had to be seriously fucked up before I call him to work. Yeah.
Endometriosis is not as uncommon as you think.
I just never heard of any case of it before.
Well, again, you're not a woman. So
Yeah, but I
why
thought
would
I'd
you?
heard of it from like at least one woman that I've known that wasn't. But then I guess it doesn't come up in conversation very often, does it?
No. It wouldn't come
Yeah,
up
my
in
point anyway.
conversation unless you had a sister or a daughter with it, or maybe a mother with it.
Yeah, moving on with the article.
I mean,
point is-
endometriosis usually leads to a hysterectomy.
Moving on with the article. My point is that women just felt more able to talk about it. Accommodations can be made to help them do their job. Maybe, yeah. She said she wasn't listened to seriously for years enough about her endometriosis pain. And this can make women not want to speak about their period. Endometriosis is an often painful disorder which issues similar to the lining of the uterus. The endometrium grows outside the uterus. She said that women would rather say they got diarrhea than they're bleeding because they've been fobbed off in the past. Also, 2 out of 3 what freedom? She said many women would rather. In 2016, a Bristol-based company, Coexist, became the first in the UK to offer period leave to women. See, I disagree with that, which I just specified already, so we're not going to get into that again. Bex Baxter, then 40, said she had many periods over the years who are bent over because they She had seen many women over the years who are bent backwards because of the pain caused by their periods, but stay at their desk. She says they often feel they cannot go home. They do not class themselves as unwell, and this is unfair. We want a policy which recognizes and allows women to take time for their body's natural cycle without putting this under the label of illness. However, after implementing the policy, Begg received backlash from women around the UK saying that she had put feminism back 100 years. And I'm pretty sure it's feminism going where they wanted it. Period policies are not a new thing. Menstrually began back in Japan in 1947, and other countries, including South Korea, Taiwan, and Indonesia, also have laws in place allowing women to take time off work when they're on their period. But like, if it's not a genuine reason, just get on with it. Emma Barnett has written a book about periods where she tries to question what is driving people's skeemishness about the topic. I guess it's one of those things about a lot of big medical things where people just don't like talking about it. I guess. I don't know.
Well, put it this way. If you're bleeding out of your asshole, how many people do you want to tell?
Not many.
There we go. If you had a growth inside of your ass, that people would be like, ugh, how many people would you want to know?
Well, I want my doctor to know if I had piles, to be honest.
Yeah,
That's about
but
it.
your employer, the insurance company, maybe other employees are going to find out. Like, do you really want to, like, because endometriosis, let's be clear, this is a growth inside of your vagina that can sometimes just, why would you want to, and it's not something.
Can we stop talking about? Can we stop talking about shit that grows in women's vaginas now, please? Thank you.
Exactly my fucking point.
We didn't have to answer to what
That
I
is
said,
my
did you?
point.
You didn't have to answer to what I said.
I feel like I need to so that you guys can just understand with a clearer picture. Because it's like, oh, you should just get on with it. It's like, clearer picture needs to be given at this point.
I understand endometriosis 100%. My oldest daughter
Yeah,
had to
they're
have a
like-
hysterectomy at 24 because of it.
Yep.
So I understand it. That's the cure for it.
Yes, it is.
Hey,
Hello,
Crappy.
Gavin.
Yes.
Odd.
Anyway, on with more news. Bristol University PhD student 29 says bullying she experienced from a transgender activist has left her feeling unsafe on campus and could cost her a visa. I'm not surprised. Bristol University PhD student has claimed bullying she experienced from a transgender activist has left her feeling unsafe on campus and could even cost her a visa. The abuse started just 2 months after Michelle Rosario Sanchez from the Dominican Republic started her PhD at Bristol University. She agreed to chair a meeting of the Women's Place UK group. Why does such a thing need to exist? A 29-year-old made a complaint against the university against the transgender. The 29-year-old made a complaint to the university against the transgender student, and formal disciplinary proceedings were launched. The bullying then escalated from there as she had eggs and milkshakes thrown at her. If this is true, why didn't this person get kicked out of the university? My diversity, I guess. I don't know. She was called heinous scum, and then a series of protests organized against her. She told the Sunday Times, "I no longer feel safe on campus. Most people who are subjected to abuse by trans activists stay silent because you file a complaint. You want to go to the campaign of threats I've experienced. That's because according to them, they must do it. They can do whatever the fuck they like, and if you disagree with them, then you're a transphobe. Simple as that." Yeah, the university took a year to investigate the allegations, but no disciplinary action was taken. Rosario Sanchez said the bullying has caused her to fall behind in her PhD, and she has missed her progress review, so she can no longer receive funding from the Dominican Republic. She now faces losing her visa, taking out a large loan to fund the rest of her studies. Yeah, the University of Bristol says we believe every effort was taken to support Miss Rosario Sanchez. I'm going to say extra date on that one. Matters relating to an individual disciplinary cases are often confidential, therefore we are unable to make further comment. It comes amid unrest from academics. We fear silencing and freedom of speech by students claiming they are transphobic. Yep. So like, we must never hear opinions we disagree with because you're evil and you do not have the right to speak. That's pretty much how they think. Rosario Sanchez's PhD supervisor, Dr. Emma Wilson, the head of the university's Center for Gender and Violence Research. As members of staff, we can advise students to have confidence in the university's complaints procedures if they do not deal with complaints in a timely, safe, transparent, and fair way. I don't know what I can say. I don't know if I can say to a student in the future who is making a complaint about being bullied if and is fearful of their safety. It's just so fucking hard for these people just to find these people and kick them out. Like,
I wouldn't think so.
They're probably just scared of the backlash. That's what it'll be. And generally, that's what it'll be. Just scared of the backlash. So yeah, fuck Bristol. Bristol's a leftist Corbynite shithole, so yeah, fuck Bristol. I would ask for the fuck Bristol in the chat, but nobody's here, so yeah. Can we carry on?
Shall we?
Yeah, cow burps to be measured, to make farming greener. Yeah, don't fuck Bristol, then it might breed. What? What was that? Someone just said something.
Cow burps measured to make farting greener. Well,
farming greener. Cows will now have their burps monitored so the scientists can better understand how to reduce carbon footprint on farms. Yeah. Researchers from Royal Hampstead Research have built an innovative device that will measure exactly what's coming out of a cow's mouth in Norwich near Egghampton, Devon. Yeah, the latest findings will be analysed alongside the previous well, and evidence gathered around methane given off by farting cows. Of course. Professor Michael Lee said, we give the animals bolus like a big tablet, which sits in the cow's stomach and slowly releases a harmful gas, and let it graze normally for the next day. During that time, a breathalyzer handset collects a sample of gases the cow reaches out and stores them. After the 24 hours, we collect the given gases and analyze them. What a fucking weird job that is, though. Think, what do you do for a living? I measure cow burps. You know,
it's a job.
It's really a pretty well paying job as well, I'd imagine.
Also
Scientists
kind of goes back to that. It also kind of goes back to that whole thing, when they were measuring cow farts. If it gets to a point where you can measure it in weight, it's not exactly a fart anymore.
yeah. I feel like if your farts are measured in weights, like what the fuck is you have serious problems.
hmm And why does that cow's face look like something out of Fallout?
Scientists say that although it is impossible to collect every breath a cow takes, they can monitor how much of the chaser gas the cow has breathed out. As well as the proportion they have yet collected, and hence the total amount of methane it has released. Fucking Christ. They insist the method is safe and doesn't cause the cow any harm or discomfort. Cow doesn't look too happy though, although I don't think cows are very happy in general, are they?
Not really.
The cow just looks like he just knows it's fate. It knows it's going to be somebody's dinner in like a few months.
Hi, Mr. Cow. What are you? I'm a baseball glove.
Yeah, I'm going to be somebody's dinner in a few months as well.
Yeah. Some douche's leather jacket.
They insist the method is safe and doesn't cause the cow any harm or discomfort. Scientists hope to understand the factors that contribute to methane production, such as the cow's genes or what he's eating. And it's claimed that farmers will better be able to determine the true carbon footprint on the farms as a result of the study. A spokesperson for the research group added, basically, if you fill a tube made out of an inert substance like stainless steel or telephone with a tracer gas, sulfur, hexafluoride. I don't know what half of that meant, to be honest. This is completely
What if
wrong.
everybody started eating a bunch of horses? If they'd then be like, horse farts, bad.
I don't know. I see over here. I don't know if you heard about this, but like a few years ago, there was a gondola over here where like I think it was Tesco where they had like beef burgers were like made out of horse. They found traces of horse meat in the burgers.
Burger King got in trouble for that too. Over there, didn't they?
I think it was Tesco in Iceland, I believe. There's obviously 2 supermarkets over here. So, yeah, I may have eaten horse actually. Yeah, this is a completely harmless gas, but we know the rate at which the gas diffuses from this tube. I can't imagine it's just cow farts that create gas. I imagine pig farts do. I imagine every single thing farting and every single thing that farts probably has some contribution to pollution and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right.
You insert the tube into the cow's first stomach and then do its thing in the field for about 24 hours. Close to the cow's nostril is a tube which collects some of what the cow is breathing out. And the gas is collected in a pipe around the neck. This will include methane and the SF6. After 24 hours, you'll measure the amount of these gases that have been collected. The device is placed around the cow's head like a crown. This includes the second pipe attached by electrical tape. The team insists that the method is used for collecting gas is a common technique and doesn't harm cows. You've already said this twice now. You need to say it again. I feel like, once was enough. Yeah, you're a baseball bit. You're a baseball mate. Get on the truck. Where are you? I'm an R. What do you? What do you do? I make human motions with my hands. You're free to go. Yeah, that's kind of thing. That's kind of weird with animals, though, isn't it? If they aren't cute, and humans don't really give a fuck about them, do they?
No.
No, they don't.
Like cats and dogs and stuff will get eaten. The cats and dogs and stuff don't get eaten unless you're in Asia. No offense, Cryptic. Still lurking around. Yeah, yawn. Yeah, I'm just rolling a cigarette. I'll get back to the fucking news again. Yep. Do. Anyway, speaking of Tesco, we spoke of Tesco like 2 minutes ago, so we went on related to Tesco. Smashes up against. Bare-chested man smashes up Tesco entrance with bike.
Okay.
Tesco workers were forced to barricade the entrance to the store after the man started breaking the windows. Dramatic video footage showed customers cowering inside the Tesco Metro on Portobello Road in Notting Hill, West London. Of course, it was fucking London. It's always fucking London, isn't it? I still think we just put London in a dome and just leave them there to their own devices. Enjoy it. Violence erupted at around 9 p.m. yesterday after 3 drunk men entered the shop and then a scuffle with a security guard, according to a witness. I'm going to assume they're probably drunk. Tesco staff closed the door before one of the men, who was not wearing a top, began to break the glass. The witness said everybody was terrified because there are people, especially ladies, who cannot understand if it was just one person. Tired there, blowing you.
For no reason whatsoever.
Yeah. It's always one of those weird things, isn't it? When they closed the door, all the people back at the store who were moving. When they closed the door, all the people in the back of the store who were shopping moved to the front. They couldn't realize it was one guy on a gang, so they were absolutely terrified. All staff were panicking, telling them to stay away. This was a moment of panic. Thing is, if the store was packed, right, and there was a lot of people in the store, how the fucking hell did people not manage to overpower him? You'd think they would. You'd think like fucking 10 people would be able to, you think at least like 20 people would be able to overpower one guy.
Yeah, you would think, but who knows?
Or are people in London just wimps?
Oh, the problem is London's definitely one of those places where if anybody were to try to stop them, they can get charged as well. So.
So just play the fucking video, will you? Fucking stupid thing. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but it doesn't really matter, does it? Fucking hell.
That's what happens when demographics start to change.
Just survive. Fucking hell. I get arrested. Can't get me arrested there, are you?
What do you mean?
You just saying things I could get arrested for.
What I said demographic. I didn't say anything about race, religion, or sex. I said that's what happens when a demographic changes. The fact that your brain automatically went to race tells me a lot about you.
No, it's all about my fucking government. That's what it is.
No, that's actually you.
All I can say is all those people inside, if this was America, somebody would have had a pistol out and trained on him, daring him to finish coming through.
You know, no, the security,
Oh, yeah.
the security guards probably would have just tased them, wouldn't they?
If
They're
there's,
like that.
if there's actually a security guard.
Yeah, there was security guards at the door.
I think in America, if there was a security guard, he would have tackled him going, "Oh, this is my time."
Yeah, they need to get Dodd and Long on there.
Mm-hmm. Darian Long, not in my mall.
Police said officers attended the scene after reports of a man causing criminal damage. Scotland Yard in a statement, it was reported that a man was using a bike to smash the glass door in front of the store. That rhymes a little bit. The man was arrested at the scene on suspicion of after has been taken into custody. Inquiries continue. Oh yeah, if you're drunk or whatever, don't smash up a Tesco. That's one of my words for advice on the show. Don't smash up a Tesco. Yeah, advice for life, you know. Anyway, do. Plane mutiny rapist claims he's too depressed to be deported after Heathrow passengers blocked his return to Somalia. You know, fuck this guy. He's a fucking rapist. Fuck him. Right, dude? Send him back and don't let him back in ever again.
Well, I applaud him trying.
What?
Like, nice try, dude. Like, I mean, come on. He's being pretty tenacious there. He'd be like, I'm too depressed to go back. Like, can't blame a guy for trying.
A rapist who escaped justice.
I mean, if they were deporting you to Somalia, would you not try anything, even if it's completely absurd?
I think it's something a little smarter than that, though.
It made the news, so obviously it's gonna work, or it's working.
Yeah, but remember, this is the Sun. So the whole aim here for the Sun is that they want to create outrage for this. That's what it is.
Well, it worked. So if this is the time where these things work, just saying.
Yeah, it's probably not going to help him. She's probably still going to get deported, though, isn't it? So, for him, it's not going to work.
It's in the paper.
A rapist who escaped jail after justice after the mutiny by plane passengers now claims he should avoid deportation because he's too depressed. I bet you're fucking depressed. I wouldn't want to go fucking Somalia either, but you know, it's tough shit. Tough days. Somalian-born Yaqub Ahmed 30 was convicted of gang raping a 16-year-old girl in 2007 and later jailed for 9 years alongside 3 other men. He was heading back to Somalia last October when Heathrow passengers on his flight to Turkey became furious and demanded his release. Why?
Oh, I remember this. This is where that Karen was in the middle of the damn jet yelling and screaming and pissing and moaning. I remember that story. Everybody was shit. Everybody on the plane, they were getting. This must be another guy from that group where everybody was on that plane chanting to let him go because he's screaming and pissing and moaning about having to go back.
Stick a fucking muzzle on him and then just let him continue on the way. That's what I say.
Like I said, man, tenacity. It sounds like it started. Is this the one where the passengers ended up actually getting the plane grounded?
I don't know. We'll find out probably. Footage shows them shouting. They're separating him from his family and to take him off the plane. I don't give a shit. He shouldn't have raped somebody, should he? The Home Office team escorting him were forced to halt the deportation. So yeah, they were. So yeah, I guess they did. And he was seen thanking passengers for the support as they cheered and clapped. Fuck these passengers, man. This is why we should hate people. People just fucking suck. People are quite happy to have rapists in their own fucking country. Great, yeah. Fantastic.
There was all kinds of articles about this, about one of the guys from these groups, because yeah, the whole airplane was sitting there chanting about letting them go and not sending them back and not deporting them, and there's a bunch of people sitting there going, y'all don't know why you were deporting them. And it even got to the point where the girl was sitting there saying, well, that's nice, whoop-de-doo, y'all made yourselves feel happy, but now fuck you for letting the guy who did this to me stay here.
So far, it's cost the taxpayer £333,000 to keep the rapist in Britain, thanks to spiling criminal trials and prison costs. Now, lawyers at a bail tribunal last week have argued that he shouldn't be sent packing as he is suffering from mental trauma. I'm pretty sure the fucking rapist is suffering. I'm pretty sure the fucking rape victim is suffering from mental trauma, but fuck them, I guess. Psychiatrist Dr. Nguyen Foran said Ahmed was previously tried to commit suicide on more than one occasion. We'll fucking let him. If he wants to kill himself, just fucking let him kill himself, to be honest. I don't give a fuck.
Agreed, actually.
I wouldn't normally say that, but, fuck this guy. On more than one occasion, it has depressive disorder and post-traumatic stress disorder. From what exactly? But the hearing was told he doesn't trust staff. He yells with immigration removal centre in Bedfordshire team because their loyalties lie with the Home Office. His barrister, Mark Allison, revealed Ahmed, who was granted refugee status in the UK in 2003, is applying for a judicial review of his case and still denies any wrongdoing. And the latest wrangling has sparked fury from his victims, who's battled with PTSD triggered by a brutal rape. She told the newspaper it's ridiculous. His mental health was being put above mine. It's absolutely devastating. I'm appalled that he is using this excuse to try and avoid deportation. I've been told that I would benefit from seeing a specialist, but I can't fund private treatment, and the NHS doesn't have the resources available that I need. I'm currently without any mental health support. He has been assessed by a specialist psychiatrist. He thinks things have been tough. Well, he should live my life for the last few years. The bail hearing was told Ahmed was a victim of modern slavery before he entered the UK. A move designed to frustrate the deportation process. The Home Office said it is understood anyone referred to the authorities as a potential slavery victim must have their case examined by a specialist in a 45-day process. Last month, the victim's mum questioned why the passenger felt the need to intervene and called for everyone in the car passengers who intervened to apologize. They won't fucking apologize. They want rapists in the country quite clearly. Otherwise, why the fucking hell would they do that? Someone said that's
Because
my.
it's not their money they're playing with. It's taxpayer money they're fucking with, and they think they're doing the right thing because they don't know enough to know they're wrong.
Well, if they're letting rapists in, then how could they not know they're wrong? I feel like that's common sense.
Well, that's the thing. It's like when all the people are on the plane screaming and yelling about it, they don't know why he was being deported.
Well, then they should have looked
Yep.
into the reason why then, instead of just fucking going, "Oh, he's a bit racist." Ugh. Fucking people, man. I fucking hate people.
I think Tommy Lee Jones is the person who said it right. A person is smart. People are stupid.
Yep. Just believing whatever the fucking media tells them.
It's like the difference between a damn grasshopper and a locust. You know, a grasshopper is one bug and is harmless. A locust is a whole bunch of grasshoppers at once.
No,
That's
locusts. Locusts are really they're the most infuriating. They're really annoying.
They are, but that's the thing is one single grasshopper. It's a grasshopper. It's a cute little bug. But it's when they are, when they're in a big pack and they, that's when they become locusts. That's the only difference is how they act individually and in a pack.
They actually made it possible for my daughter's rapists to be allowed in the country by their actions. Yeah, they did, but they don't care, do they? Mad diversity, I guess. Ahmed and Fearless attacked the girl after a night out in London's Leicester Square in 2007. They all denied rape but were found guilty at Wood Green Crown Court and he's jailed for 9 years. Ahmed is said to have spent 4 years in prison after his release. And after his release, the Home Office ordered his deportation. I think they should have ordered his deportation before. That would have saved you a lot of money. I think as soon as he was found guilty of it, they should have just kicked him out. One of his co-defendants, Adnan Mahood, is being held at a removal centre and is on the verge of being booed out of Britain, it's claimed. Well, until a bunch of idiots demand that he stays, obviously, and then he'll be fine, probably. The government reportedly footed the bill for the Star Flight to prevent a repetition of last year's mutiny. How about they just fucking dump him in the fucking jam or something? There's an idea.
No, they should have locked him up and then told the inmates he was there for raping a child. They took care of it.
Which she was underage at the time, so yeah.
Well, she wasn't underage.
Small child.
Well, she wasn't underage at the time. She was 16, which means she was legal age over here.
Yeah, should have said it was like a 3 or 4 year old girl. They'd have took care of him.
Hey, Crappy, I got your message and I'm dodging.
Okay.
After the failed deportation, he was fitted with an electronic tag and released on bail after an immigration hearing in March 20th. Home Office officials are said to be exploring shipping the Somali-born Adnan Brood, another one of the rapists of his British citizenship. Another member of his gang, Ondongo Ahmed, is reported to have fought for the Islamic State in Syria, but he's thought to have been killed. Well, good. At least one of them's gone. Good riddance. Yeah, people just fucking suck. People are.
You're not wrong. You're not
really,
wrong.
really fucking awful. This is why we should hate them. Yeah, yeah. Let's see what else we have here. What?
Freudian slip. It's election season, right? Or yeah, it's election season. I just passed a house with a sign that says "Elect Wendy Gooditis," I guess. Gooditis, and I totally misread that. Her name was like Gooditis or something, or yeah, Gooditis or something, and I completely misread that, and I thought it said vote for Wendy Good Tits. Freudian slip.
Good reason is any vote for somebody, I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
Tells me what kind of mood I'm in. Rose, I need you.
Yeah, this will be the last article for anyone who's actually still watching this fucking thing. Man avoids jail after seagull steals his weed. A man from Sweden has managed to evade arrest and possible imprisonment after a cheeky seagull stole his stash of weed. The bizarre theft occurred just moments before the two plainclothes officers closed in on the man to make an arrest, slapping him with a charge that could have proven serious. Well, at least seagulls did a good thing for once.
Imagine how
The officers
seagulls
had
felt
to-
afterwards.
I bet they might finally be quiet for once.
Yeah. A mellow seagull. I love it.
The officers had been on patrol in the Gothenburg's cultural festival when they noticed a woman smoking weed. This is regarded as a serious offense in Sweden. Possible medicinal benefits dismissed by the Swedish government. Well, Sweden fucking sucks anyway, so I'm not surprised. As reported by the Leaf Desk, a man plunked on a nearby bench witnessed the officers began to worry about his own recreational activities. He chucked the bag of weed away from him, but was unfortunately spotted by the eagle-eyed officers. Really? Turning their attention away from the woman with the joint, the officers headed towards the man. He was no doubt racking his brains, daring for an escape plan. It's not too hard to imagine the panic the unnamed man felt as officers strode towards him. Sweden has some of the harshest drug laws on the planet, with heavy fines and 6 months prison sentences dished out for a single possession of a joint. Really? That's a bit harsh, isn't it? 6 months for one joint.
Yeah.
Luckily for the man, the guardian angel kept keeping an eye out for him. Albeit an angel with scruffy wings and a less than heavenly singing voice.
I'm loving this description of the bird.
As one of the officers reached down and grabbed the bag, the punk's rock seagull, with a disparate disdain for law, swooped down and snatched the bag from his beak in his beak. A Gothenburg police spokesperson revealed the highly experienced officers had estimated the bag to be around 10 grams of weed. The spokesperson revealed the man had legged it, while the officers watched the bird take off with the evidence. The police did not expect that a third party would intervene. There's also been a large scale of seagulls on the site. One of them saw his chance and picked up the bag and lifted it quickly with the drugs. Quickly as the seagull disappeared, so did the man who threw the bag away. Policemen stood and watched the evidence disappear into the sky. Unfortunately for the woman with the joint, there were apparently no other bloody fiends in the area willing to lend a beak. The woman was arrested for use and possession, with the spokesperson describing her as a patch over the wound. I'll just legalize it, you'd save time and money. Yeah, I think we should probably end this anyway. I don't think there's any point in chilling. Because is there actually anybody still out there at all? Anybody?
It's Sunday.
I,
Yeah, Sunday, but still, there's usually more people on Sunday than this. Anyway, so yeah, see you same time tomorrow. You're all a bunch of cunts. Goodbye.